Hey guys, Lizardly here for Magnificent Wizard Day 16. So that's the progress I made for Day 15. I will be stopping a bit early on this one because I need to go to the post office and then I'm going to go out to eat with my grandma. Hopefully I'll have time to stitch more when I get back, but no guarantees. It's only 9 a.m., so I still have quite a while. I have a lot of time, so yeah, I'm really sleepy today. I didn't get into bed until after 11, and then I didn't fall asleep until like after midnight. I'm just... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go stitch now. I forgot to say I got another one of the books I ordered in the mail. This one is 501 Cross-Stitch Designs by Sam Hawkins for American School of Needlework, Inc. So, there are a lot in this one, including animals. Yeah, you like kitty cats, huh? Yes. Yes, so as you can see, it's big. What are they? So it has 50 floral designs, 50 kitchen designs, 50 baby designs, sports, pet, house, profession, houseplant, patriotic, Santa. And all of them are 50. I don't think I needed to say it every single time. Right there. Oh, there you go, Tess. So there are some of the floral ones. Kitchen 31. The kitchen. 53, baby. The baby. Oh, here we are. There's some more. And so on and so forth. So, I like how they put all of the best ones on the cover, because some of them, when I was looking through, I was like, I don't really like this one, or this one, or this one. So, yeah. But whatever. I got it for like $1 and then like $3 in shipping, so not too bad. Alright, so today while filming, I finished up the last season of Angel. Have to say, I kind of forgot how painful that season was. With Illyria and the red demon whose name I can't remember, but I hate him anyways, cause he my favorite character at the end. Seriously, if you haven't seen Angel, you should see it. It's really, really good. And I don't want to spoil it for you. Like, it's so good. It actually, the story does continue in the comics, but I have to say it was really confusing. And then just Buffy and Angel in the comics, I wasn't really happy with it. Like, it was so freaking weird. It was crazy. I don't know. If you're a really, really, like, genuine fan, I'd recommend them, but otherwise, I would just, like, read a synopsis on what happens in the comics, because it's weird, and Angels in particular was very confusing. The Buffy ones I could follow, but the Angel ones were really confusing. Okay, I don't remember what question I was on. If you had 30 minutes a day to do anything you wanted, what would you do? Why? 30 minutes a day to do anything I wanted. Huh, what would I do? Gosh, I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't know what I would do. If you had to choose a new name for yourself, what would it be and why? I actually really like the name Elizabeth, so I wouldn't change that. And I really like my middle name, which is Lee, and I wouldn't change that. And then my last name, if I ever get married, I'll change it then. Otherwise, I'm not ashamed of my maiden name, I guess it would be called. Or, I mean, currently it's still just my normal last name, but, you get the idea. So, no, I wouldn't. If I had to, I'd probably change my first name to Lee, and then I would change my middle name to Elizabeth.
So then I'd just be Lee Elizabeth. Like, I like both of them, and I'd rather keep them as is. I'm happy. If you had to choose between family, friends, and yourself, who would you choose and why? Well, what kind of situation are we talking about? Like life and death? Or just like who I have to be around? Or well, that makes no sense because myself included, I'm always going to be around myself. Um, I mean, if we're talking life and death, like if you put my family members on a scale and my friends on another scale and then me on a scale and whatever scale I picked is the only one that got to live. Wow. So I'm assuming we're going for like immediate family. So, you know, my parents and my siblings. And then my friends would be my closest friends. So there'd be like probably Megan and Sam would be on there. Maybe Cynthia as well. Ooh. I mean, if my mom and my brother are on a scale, I'm pretty much guaranteed to pick that one. So I guess family. I mean, it would suck to die, but at least they'd get to live. And then in that situation, the youngest person would be my little brother. So I'm always saying, like, if there's ever a situation where it's like, you know, someone has to die, I'd always pick the oldest person to die because, you know, even if it's just by like 5 minutes, that's 5 more minutes you've had in this world than the other person. So I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of to even make it remotely fair because those kind of situations aren't exactly fair. Um, oh my gosh, Tess. If you had to choose between intelligence and common sense, which would you choose and why? Common sense for sure. Because, you know, like you can be super, super smart. And if you have no common sense, you can't do jack squat with your intelligence. So, yeah, common sense all the way. If you had to choose between money, fame, and freedom, what would you choose and why? Okay, well, fame, definitely not. So for me, it's between money and freedom. So if I had a crap ton of money, I wouldn't have it. Like, what kind of freedom is it talking about? Like the freedom to do what I choose with the money? The freedom, like, America, I get my own choices, or like, I have all that money, but like, there's a ton of stuff I can't talk about, I can't discuss. I don't know. Like, I wish freedom was defined a bit more. Because, I mean, like if I had a crap ton of money and they told me the only thing I was allowed to do was cross stitch, I would say yes. So, I don't know. If you had to choose between peace, love, and happiness, what would you choose and why? Oh, happiness. Because if everybody's happy, there isn't going to be any war. All right? Like, there will be peace if everybody's happy. Because there's no reason to fight with anybody if you're happy. And then if you're happy, you're more than likely to fall in love with someone. So, I mean, it'd be weird if you were in a world where everybody was happy to go to war and everybody hated each other. Like that, how could you be happy in a world like that? That's that, or at least definitely not the majority of people. That's confusing. If you had to coin a one-sentence slogan for the, I can't do that for this pageant, what would it be? I have no idea. If you had to describe your country to the world in less than 10 words, how would you describe it? Um, well, actually, I do think mixing pot works. So that's 2 words. I mean, it's supposed to be one thing, but that's 2 words. And by mixing pot, I mean like, you know, mixing pot of cultures. So we don't only just have like white guys here. You know, we have people from around the world coming in. Um, let's see. I mean, uh, new compared to like, you know, the Europe and all those areas that were colonized way before the States. Um, bad history, because if you learn about Columbus, like, that's not a pretty time, dude. Those people were horrible to the Native Americans. It was, oh, it was horrible. Um, so I'm halfway. uh, popular. And by popular, I mean there are a lot of people who want to visit the States, and then there are a lot of people who watch the movies from the States, listen to the music, like, you know, the stuff we have tends to be really popular because English is one of the most widely spoken languages. Like, I think Chinese is the most spoken language, and that's just because there's a high population of people in China. But that's pretty much the only country where Chinese is spoken. Versus English, like everywhere you go, a lot of people will speak English. Um, 4 more words. I'm not good at this. This is weird because, like, I don't want to say anything horrible because I don't think the US is that bad. I mean, personally, I don't think it's as good as Europe. I've made that very clear. But I also, like, anytime I see something like, oh, fucking Americans, it really annoys me because, there are a lot of Americans that aren't douchey like that. And there are some Europeans who are douchey. So, it's bad to just assume everybody is one way. Like, not all Americans are overweight. Although largely obese would be true. Politically bullshit. How's that? I don't know. I do hate our politics, though. If you had to pick one, what previous pageant have you disliked the most? I haven't been in one. So, if you had to choose a movie title for your life story, what would that title be? Man, I'm not good at coming up with titles. I mean, probably Lizard Lee, because I have no idea. If you were only allowed to eat one food for 2 weeks in a row, what would you choose and why? Probably cereal because I can have it for any meal and I will be extremely happy. If you were walking through the forest and you suddenly saw a tiger, what would you do? I would wonder what the fuck is going on because I don't think tigers live in forests. Do they? Hold on. Because do tigers live in forests? Tigers live in swamps, grasslands, and rainforests. See, not forests, rainforests. I mean, I guess they're just trying to mountain ranges and forests. Okay. Well, I don't know, what would I do? I would stare at it because tigers are absolutely gorgeous. I would not run because they are definitely faster than me and they would kick my ass and kill me. I think some animals you can play dead and they won't leave, and they won't bother you, but big cats can climb trees, so that wouldn't work. Maybe get in the water if there's a river nearby. I have no idea. I've been in a lot of forests, and I don't go to areas where there would be wild animals that could kill me and eat me. If women were to rule the world by 2050, how different would the world be? Honestly, I don't know if it would be that different. Yeah, generally men and women don't feel the exact same way about everything, but I mean, like, people say that, if women rule the world, there wouldn't be any war, and that's bullshit, all right? Like, if you get 2 women in power and they don't like each other, shit's gonna go down, all right? They're not just gonna be like, oh, well, I don't like her, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore her. They are going to, it's not gonna be pretty. So, I don't know. I like to think it would be better, but you never know. I think the ideal situation would be to have it be equal. We balance each other out. So, we both have our good points and our bad points, and it helps to balance that out. If you could be a crayon, what color crayon would you choose to be and why? Well, blue, duh, because it's the best color ever. But if you want me to be really specific, rather than just pick a prime color, or primary color, sorry, a prime color. Prime numbers! Probably blue-green. Blue-green is such a gorgeous color. I love it so much. It's so gorgeous. If you could be either a bee or a flower, which one would you like to be? Probably a flower. I mean, it would kind of suck to be stuck in one place the entire time, but at least then, like, my life is all about me. Versus if I'm a bee, unless I'm the queen bee, I'm just going to be serving my queen, you know, going out getting pollen, bringing it back, and that doesn't really sound that appealing either. But, you know, at least as a flower, I get to see other beautiful flowers. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be either. If I'm reincarnated, please don't make me a bee or a flower. If you could change 4 things in the world, what would they be? Terrorism, I would get rid of it. Cancer, I would get rid of it. I want to say war, I want to get rid of it, but I don't know if that could even be possible. I mean, yeah, I'll include it. I'd like to get rid of war. And psychotics. Get rid of the crazy people. And by psychotics, I mean like the murderous kind, not just, you know, people who are a little crazy. I mean the people that are going out and hurting others and hurting themselves and hurting animals and everything like that. If you could change one thing about your physical appearance, what would it be and why? I mean, I'd love to be a little bit taller, but right now at 5'2", like pretty much every guy I've ever been attracted to has been taller than me. And I tend to prefer guys that are taller than me, so that works out. I feel like I'm going back to this a lot. My hairy arms or my stretch marks, I could get rid of those. That'd be nice. I definitely feel like more confident in my body if I didn't have stretch marks, but I don't really care. If you could choose only one, which would you choose? To be smart, rich, or beautiful? Why? Ooh. Rich and dumb would be absolutely horrible, so I'm getting rid of rich. Beautiful and dumb, I mean, I could get with a rich guy. Smart, poor, and ugly. So long as I could be successful with how smart, well, no, because I still wouldn't be, oh, wow. Honestly, out of those 3, the best one sounds like being beautiful, because at least, you know, I could get with a dude who's rich and all that, and he's smart. Because, I mean, I'd love to be smart and, you know, not beautiful, but to also not be rich. Like, that's thrown, you know? Or, like to be poor and smart and ugly. Like, that just feels so imbalanced. I don't like that. No. If you could go to any place right now, where would you, I keep answering that one all the time. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Teleportation would be very nice because, you know, you never have to worry about being late, never have to worry about paying for gas or anything like that. It'd be wonderful. I mean, being able to, like, maybe not necessarily time travel, but manipulate time. Like, if I could stop time or slow it down or speed it up, like, that'd be pretty cool. So long as something like the movie Click doesn't happen, because that would suck. If you could live any time in the past, present, or future, when would you live? Why? Probably the 80s, because that would be absolutely awesome, because that music rocks. If you could live anywhere in the world, if you could perform in a circus, what would your act be and why? I played a lion tamer in a play once, but I'd rather not have a lion attack me, so maybe I'd just be the announcer because I'm nice and loud. I think I've answered that question before. That sounds extremely familiar. And I think I said the same thing last time. If you could spend a Saturday reading a book or playing a sport, which would you pick and why? Reading a book? Oh my gosh. Like, unless the sport is badminton and I have other people who don't, like, frickin' suck at badminton, I'm gonna pick a book every time. You can get transported to another world, you know, you can live another life, and oh, but it'd be so much better for you to go out and play a sport than to read about someone playing a sport. I don't read sports books. I think they're boring as heck and stupid. I would rather just Wikipedia the person, because I don't need to read an entire book on someone. Like, oh look, Babe Ruth, yeah, he was awesome, that's great. I'd rather read like a fantasy book, because that would be fun. If you discovered a new island, what would you name it and why? I don't know. I'm not good at naming things. I have no idea. I would have a friend or a family member name it for me. How do you feel about people being judged on their looks? I feel horrible about it. I think it's BS because, if you see someone who's beautiful, you assume they're shallow. You assume that they're mean and rude and they don't care, or that, they come from a background where they have a lot of money or something and, they're overprivileged or whatever. And if you see someone who's ugly, you assume like, oh, they're boring and they're depressed and they're always going to be moping around and they're always going to be fishing for compliments and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like the whole thing is stupid. You need to judge someone based on their personality because, changing your looks is, I mean, for some people, I totally understand and I would support them. But for the most part, like, if you want to get a nose job done because your nose is just a little bit bigger than it should be, I think that's BS. Brace your nose, man. Be awesome with your big nose. How important is winning to you? Not very important at all. I think it's the fun in the game, not the fun in winning. I don't really care. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to continue, so that's going to be the end. I got 2 hours and 26 minutes of footage. So yeah, didn't get a ton done, unfortunately. My grandma ended up wanting to go to a few stores after we ate, so I got back a lot later than expected, and yeah, woo. I have work tomorrow, so I will finish off the sun cross stitch. I think I actually work pretty late in the day, so if it ends up going really quickly, I might either start another one or work on Magnificent Wizard a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah. I'm boxing up all the Sailor Moon stuff, trying to fit it all in, and they take up a lot of space. Yeah, I'm also going to be selling my Buffy and Angel comic books. I'm going to be selling my Digimon DVDs. I'm probably going to be selling all my Shonen Jump, and there are a lot of Shonen Jump. So, yeah, that'll be fun. So, yeah, I guess that's all for today. So, really short video. I apologize, but my grandma hasn't been, very happy lately. So, getting time to spend with, a granddaughter she likes is that helps. So, yeah. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.